What up, Guitkit family? This is your boy Bobby G. I'm coming at you like always from the place to be. Had to take down the freak flag for just a little while, man, but it'll come back. So let's not make a controversy out of it. We got better things to talk about. Let's do some parts casting together like a family, like we should. I was looking at my guitar collection, my little parts cast family. You have the dads admiring my Telecasters, man. Look at this gorgeous 60s model here. Look at this beautiful 56 guy. Oh my God, what a gorgeous guitar. And who could pass up old Sherwood Green 61? But you know what, man? I'm only half a man. I'm missing something important. Important piece of the puzzle. I don't have a blackguard. I've never made a blackguard. How can I get off telling you I know about parts casting when I don't even own a blackguard? I've never made one. I'm an embarrassment. I want to change that though. I want to put it right. So what's been turning me on lately, man? What have I been tickling on? This guy, man. I've been obsessed with these Chinese components. What is it, man? Is it because they're solid, cheap, somewhat illicit? I don't know. Is it a combination of all of them? Could be. But the question begs itself, can I build you a 53 Blackguard tribute for like 125 bucks using that garbage? And the answer is yes, folks. I can do it. A beautiful 53 with those little slot heads peeking their way out through all those Phillips. Scary land in the early days of Fender. Hey, man, the Genesis happened about 1.5 years ago when I saw this on eBay. This was like a rare part for a while, man. If you're a parts caster, you'll concur. This is like a real Fender bridge plate, you know, stamped that old machine. Made it look like an early 50s one. You know what I'm saying? I actually heard or read or somebody said something to me that these USA Fender parts are actually made on the same machines that Leo had back in the 50s. I wouldn't doubt it, man. They all got these old ugly machine marks and only us wonderful Americans could leave. You know, they look kind of rudimentary and crude. So, I mean, it could be true. It could be bullshit. Don't know. Who knows? So how are we going to make this dream come true? We can't do it with just a bridge plate, right? So I looked on eBay, looked on all these presses, and I came across this, man. 25 bucks delivered. The brand, the nationally renowned Moose Lady. Never heard of Moose Lady, but it was advertised to be made out of sycamore. It said it was 1.5, which is a thin body. It's a square thickness, right? But it came in the mail. I saw, look, it looks like a one-piece body, man. And it kind of felt kind of thick, so I got out the old ruler and I put it up beside her. I was like, what are we working with here, man? And I came to my shock and surprise. This is a full size body, man. That's a real that's like a real boy, man. This is a dream. It's got the what's this called? That sloping shit, proper notch. It's gotta be some kind of, you know what I mean? The fuck? There's the catch, man. It's a 3-piece sycamore with an alder veneer on both sides. There's a little trick for you, the Chinese. Perfect, man. Full-size bodies over 25 bucks, man. I am game, man. Fuck it, I'm game. We're in there, man. Thank you, Moose Lady. Thank you, old Moose Lady. Neck, about 2 or 3 years ago. I think this is actually a real Chinese invention. Correct me if I'm wrong. The tiger flame roasted neck. It's like a flame roasted, like tiger striped neck, which basically was supposedly a one-piece neck, which had been roasted, and it brings out the tiger stripes in the maple, which I think is really just a one-piece neck, which has been stained yellow. And then had charcoal dust smeared on it, and then totally coated in poly, sickly. But it's a real solid neck. It's strong. It is one piece. You know what I mean? You can see all stripes lead to Rome. You know what I mean? It's definitely a one piece neck, and it's gonna do the trick. So let's get to work here. Now I'm kind of nervous, to be honest with you. I'm not gonna lie to you about drilling these holes out, and I keep hearing about these Brad Point tips that you gotta get a set of these, man. All real shops have this for like $5 and change off the bay. I now have myself a metric set. of brad tips. So let's get to work, man. I'm not gonna fuck around anymore. I'm not gonna delay. Let's get some parts casting in there, family. Peace. New little segment here. I want to put in, how much does it weigh? Got a little old scale here from the late 1930s. Let's take a look, see how much that guy weighs. So the body weighs slightly under 3 pounds. Let's see what that neck weighs. So neck out of the box, no hardware, a little bit over 1 pound. So we're talking about 4 pounds there. Alright, so first thing I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to put those holes in here, because I want to, you know what I mean, that's the biggest fear about this whole job, is having to, you know, get the drill press in there and do those ferrule holes for the string through thing. So basically what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to mock this bridge pickup on there, get it installed. I have some actually I don't need these. I got some mom and pop screws that are chrome and that are flathead, and I'm going to, this actually got this is I have a whole bunch of these that I've purchased. These are like, you know, flat pole from AliExpress a couple of years ago, and I would just drill a little hole in them. You know what I mean? They make it look 50s because they are flat. I couldn't find them on AliExpress. I had to buy them from an American reseller. I spent like twice as much as she probably paid, but does the trick. You know what I mean? Rather than kissing a million princes of frog nature on AliExpress, we just went with the go-getter, because all those people overseas are pretty much liars. All their pictures don't match what they're selling. There's like a, you know, maybe a 30% success rate. So I'm going to screw this guy in here, get it down, drill out the hole with our little tiny, it's about an 1/8, I guess, 1/8" bit, number 3 bit. Very carefully, right down the middle there. You know, we'll test the, you know, put this on the old little multimeter afterwards, make sure we haven't damaged the pickup, because that, of course, something always happens. Then we'll mock this guy up, and I'll put you on pause when all that's done, when we're at the final mock-up stage, right before we drill our holes. Oh, I'm so scared. Alright, so now we pretty much got it mocked out. We put the neck on there just to make sure that, you know, everything's lined up. And, you know, with the pickup mounted on there, see, we drilled a little bobbin hole on there. As I said, we see where it's going to be. So now what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to screw this down, right? And we're just going to use this as a guide and bring it over to the drill press. So after we got it screwed over, we'll go to the drill press and we'll go through and we'll go up. Please stand by. Go. We're just going to pretty much use the 7/64 regular bit here, because my Brad Pitt, you know, point wasn't long enough, didn't go through the body. And we're going to take a, you know, big piece of wood, put it underneath it, you know, so you don't get blast out, you know what I mean? So it just goes right straight through. You know what I mean? We're not going all the way through now. We're just, you know what I mean, sinking the bridge down. We've drawn, you know, from when we had it mocked up before, we've drawn 2 holes. Pretty much that we're going to, you know what I'm saying, drill down now. You might as well just use the drill press all the way through, you know what I mean? So we're going to sink that down and I'll come right back at you. So we got it sunken down with the screws here. We haven't drilled through it yet. But the idea, it's better to use the drill press, right? Because it's straight. You know what I'm saying? It's straight up and down. You use a hand drill, it's going to wobble around like a fool. I got this taped off 1 3/4. That's the size of the body. We're going to carefully go through these, and we're going to try our best, you know what I mean, not to fuck it up. So I'll see you in a little bit. Peace. Alright, so we're done. We went through just a little bit, not much blowout, perfectly in line. So what we're going to do, we're going to get a ruler, right? We're going to hold it up against them in a straight line, right? And we're just going to draw a straight line through those holes right there in the center. So I'm going to put you on pause and I'm going to do that right now. Okay, so we got the line happening. And what we're going to do, we're going to get that Brad Pitt point basically on These I got from Philadelphia Luther Supply. I mean, the ones from Fender have like a lip, and you gotta like sort of countersink it, and you know what I mean? It's kind of a pain in the ass. These, you don't have to, you know what I mean? You just sink it to the size. So we'll tape off the bit that's, you know what I mean, the correct size at exactly this level, and we'll just bring it down with the drill press on this lines to keep them lined up so they don't look like, you know, wiggly teeth, hopefully. And we'll just do our best to do our best. You know what I'm saying? You can't get any better than that. And then when we're done, we'll just sand this down a little bit. You get rid of this line. And, you know what I mean? We'll all live in peace with each other and the animals and everything. So I'll put you on pause, and when we're done drilling it, you'll see how bad it looks. Peace. Well, this one came in a little wonky, a little bit sank too far, but not that bad. And I mean, it could have been a lot worse. Oh, they're going to fall over. So, I'm not a professional, folks. I'm just fucking around here. So let's get it ready for painting. What we're going to do is sand it now. We're going to sand it down, you know what I mean, 220. And I don't think we're even going to mess around with the highlight coat. I'll think about it after I do the sanding. Alright, so now it's sanded real smooth, right? That took a little bit of that kind of, you know, Asian edge off of there, you know what I'm saying? It's a little bit smoothed over. It looks perfect now. Absolutely perfect. And you kind of see how that sycamore sort of blends in almost perfectly in tone, you know what I mean? With the veneer top there. So, essentially, we're going to have to get on the paint stick. So what I did, I took the neck plate, and I put it here, right where I thought it would belong, right? And I took a little Sharpie, right? Real extra thin point Sharpie, and I just filled that in real good. And I'm going to go right in the middle of there with our smallest Brad Pitt point on the drill press. This is something that you do not want to screw up. So don't use a hand drill on this. If you got a drill press, use a drill press. I'm telling you. Get the drill press. Go to the swap meet. Get one for like 30, 40 bucks. Trust me. Trust me, Guitkits. Trust me. Let's get this on the paint stick. This old paint stick. He's ready to go. He needs some action. Look at that. He's fendered out. Alright. So, we're sanded to 220. We're on the paint stick. I got a little piece of masking tape here, right on the edge of those holes, so we don't get them all gummed up. And likewise, we got a little bit of tape inside of them holes right there. And we're just going to do the old acrylics. We're going to mix it up. Basically, I'm just going to use this. This is the color I used to lime a Les Paul TV model. I'm going to use that. Put a little bit of regular yellow in there. Maybe some of that old Explorer yellow. Cleaning out the cupboard here. A little bit of whites. And Fender, when they did these butterscotch jobs, they basically did like a translucent white coat, and then they did like a yellow like butter coat on top of it. But we're not going to do that because we don't want to expose the wood too much to that water and those acrylic paints and get it all shingattled. So let me get this colored up. I'll put you on pause and come right back at you. Oh, there we go, my mans. My men, my people. Little piece of old pants cloth there. This actually is to waste of paint. You know what I mean? It's like a sponge that soaks up everything. So just stick with the pair of pants. You know, you can use this around the edges to clean it up. It looks great, though. So we're going to wait for the next sunny day, and we're going to use a special sealant. You know what? I'll let you in a little secret now. Yes, folks. We're going to do spray poly on this. I found this in the archive. Gloss spray poly. Now, poly doesn't really stick good to like other glossy paints. It will flake off. But it's generally pretty good with something rough and tumble like this. So we're going to wait for it to totally dry. We're going to give it like a little tiny bit of light, you know what I mean, steel wool to it. And on the next nice sunny warm day, we're going to go outside. We're going to string this boy up. And we're going to just spray this whole bottle on that sucker. And just pray that we're doing the right thing. Peace. Got her steel wooled up. We're about to bring her outside. It's a nice sunny day. I got a lot of these books around, you know what I mean? Old picture books with the... I'm trying to make sure that the grain accentuation is about the same in the picture as it is here. That looks about right, you know? It looks about the color. Now, you remember Polly is always gonna yell it up. You're gonna yell a little bit of that guy up, Polly or True Earl. So let's bring her outside. All right, outside, clipped on a clamp. No breeze, nice mild day. Sun shining bright. We're gonna shake her up, and I'll put you on pause when we got a couple coats on here. Bunch of coats on there. 4 or 5 coats. Got half that bottle. There's something compromised about that nozzle, but other than that, you know what I mean, it's going according to oil. Nothing running yet. Nice even coats. I'm gonna put you on another pause. We'll come back when we're 75% done with that can. Yes, there's that gorgeous Polly Shine. About 75% done with that can. And look at that. That nozzle's totally fucked. I'm having to soak it inside in a little bit of paint thinner, you know, between coats. The can, I think the valve was messed up too, man. That's a pretty old can. I got it at Swap Meet for like $2. Look at that. Polly Shine, bro. Polly Shine, Polly likes. I'll put you on pause. We'll come back when we're all done. We're gonna lay the guitar this way for the last like 10-15% of the can. Another one of my custom tools available online at my own shop. And let me give you a full view of it. Yes, very expensive, folks. Genius idea. So, you know, you already see that shine. I don't want it to, you know what I mean, start dripping like this way. This way. So we're just basically gonna apply it very sparingly now. You know what I mean, to try to fill in all those little valleys, but in an artistic way. So I want to put you on pause. You know what I mean? We're gonna do sort of like the slow burn on both sides until it's like flat on both sides. You know what I mean? And then do it around the edges. So I'm gonna put you on pause and bring you back when we're pretty much done. We're done good, folks. Can's empty. I actually had to use that giving paint nozzle on this guy. This is nozzle I was talking to you about in the Explorer video, man. God bless it. All of a sudden, it flowed like a man. Empty. So we got a beautiful little shine. Let it bake out in that sun. About another hour or so, you know, and then bring it down to the basement and just let it dry for a while. This whole process is, you know what I mean, it only takes about an hour or two. You know what I'm saying? On a nice sunny day. And then you want to bring it, you know, inside to sort of, you know, cool out for, you know, 3-4 days, and we can clean it up. You know what I mean? You don't want to wait between coats on this. You know what I'm saying? In the beginning, you know, about 10 minutes, and the end, you know, about half hour or so, 45 minutes toward the end. So let it dry out in the sun, bring it down to the basement, and we're pretty much done with this. So let's get working on that neck. Alright, folks, let's get working on this neck. First thing I want to do is pop out these fossil shell inlays. Now, like I was saying before, I mean, this neck was initially, I guess, introduced by the Chinese 2 or 3 years ago as one of their premium necks. You know, it originally started off at like $70-80 for one of these bad boys. I got mine for, you know, $25 delivered. You know, because they must have made 1 million of them and nobody bought them. So I just don't like this, man. If I was building, like, you know what I mean, like, you know what I'm saying, like an earth tones guitar, you know, that'd be just gorgeous, but not something I really want to deal with. So neck is, you know what I mean, a mess. It needs the rollover done. It needs to be straightened out, but I want to pop these out for it first. So this is where I wish that I had gotten like a set of American, like standard bits, those Brad points, because the 7's a little bit too big and the 6 is too small. I'm gonna go with the 7, man. I'm just gonna, you know, try with the hand drill, and if, you know what I mean. Otherwise, you know what I mean, we'll put it in the press. But let's just try to get them out of there using this guy. I'll put you on pause. Well, it's always fun doing that. But we got it to the point where they'll fit in there. tape it up, put some lacquer in there, put some glue in there. You never know the difference. So I'm going to put it on pause and we'll come back when that's all done. It's up. So it's the next day. We just took some masking tape, hole puncher, put them over the holes. We put a little drop of crazy glue in each hole before we sunk the little dot in there. Let it dry for a minute or two. Drop filled it with nitrocellulose lacquered nail polish. Let it set for a little while. Came back, gave another drop. Another drop after that, you know what I mean? And let it set overnight. Nice and glassy now. It's dry, it's hard. So we're going to carefully peel back that tape and buff it up. Put you on pause and come right back at you. See you in a minute. Right back at you, fellas and fellettes. So there we go, man. All buffed out. In this procedure, the old rubbing compound is your friend, folks. Just rub it in. You're going to start off with like a half-ass rag and go up. And I have like a couple softer rags here. You know what I mean? And then like a fine buffing cloth for the end there. But yeah, man. So looking good. And the cool thing is they're a little bit, too small for the hole. You know what I mean? So it kind of looks like they shrank, which is kind of like the way it should be. I also took the liberty of painting on that little walnut plug there for the truss rod, kind of in a dark color, because you can't really see it in this particular incarnation here. So now is the time to get a little bit freaky with y'all. So let's get experimental, shall we? So it's water slide decal time, people. And I know I've said previously many times, I don't make decals, man. I just buy them and I judge them. But this time, I actually made a video talking about that very subject. And the orientation was wrong. The video was like going like this way. And I had to switch it this way. And I wanted to make sure it was going the correct way. So I watched it on YouTube. And after it was done, it like went into somebody else's video. The video that I went into was making water slide decals at home. The old toner tape transfer trick, which my mom taught me like a sort of like a version of that 30 years ago when I was, she was a school teacher, and she used to have tape like this, this old Scotch book tape, and it's real thick. And basically the idea was you'd stick it on a piece of paper printed from like LaserJet or like a toner, copier, and you put it on there and you set it in a vat of water, and the paper turns into mush, and after a couple minutes, and you can peel it off with like your finger, and you're left with just, the tape and the toner is stuck totally to the tape. We used to color them in, it was cool, it was like a neat little craft, that I was told, like, oh, cool, that's cool, this guy's using it for a headstock, that's a great idea, and he was using this tape, like Scotch packing tape, and I used to buy that at the Dollar Tree, but they don't have it anymore. They make their own now, so I invested in this. I had to go to Target for this. It was like $4, but whatever. You know what I mean? I want to try everything. And this is what he was using. This is what, I learned on. This is a Dollar Tree. And then this is from my past, man. This is the greatest tape I've ever seen. When I was like 20 years old, I worked as a recruiter at a telemarketing place. Basically, I was looking for other telemarketers, and we used to go to like, my man Base Mark and I, we went to bus stations, college campuses, laundromats, all kinds of places, and we put up those telephone number tear-off flyers. And this tape, man, it would rain, you come back there 2-3 weeks later, and those flyers would still be up. With this tape, it would stick on brick, it would stick on glass, it would stick on metal, anything. Homeless people, you go back 2 weeks later, there's some homeless man still to this day walking around with an old fucking tear-off flyer. Local jobs, $5 an hour. So, you know what I'm saying, man? I figured put that hat into the ring, and we're gonna check it out. Now I've done some, preliminary testing. What we're gonna paint the actual logo with, and I'll take you, step by step how we're gonna do it. This is from the Dollar Tree. This is their silver metallic marker. Not very good. It's okay, I guess. These ones I bought over at AC Moore. This one here is supposed to be an extra thin, metallic magic marker. It is not. It's not very good at all. This is horrible. Like it's supposed to be extra thin. All the ink just spills right out of it. This is the best of the lot, even though it was in the wrong slot. It should have been. This is actually like fine point. It should have been extra fine point. But whatever, man. People at AC Moore aren't very good readers. Put it in the wrong slot, but got it. It's the best one so far. This is honorable mention, without a doubt. This I got at Walmart. for like $1. It was the cheapest one. Wish that it worked out because it was cheapest. But, you know, honorable mention, like I said, this my daughter gave me. This is definitely honorable mention. Metallic colored pencil. Excellent. Metallic crayon. This is from a mom and pop dollar store. It's like a metallic grease makeup pencil. Not very good. Too greasy. Old testers. Silver acrylic paint. Metallic. Tested them all out. Also tested paper. Paper matters too, folks. This is regular, you know, bright copy paper. This is recycled paper. Honorable mention on that. Toner sticks real good to these paper. Then I found this down in the basement. This old, probably 25 years old, Staples copy paper. It's real old, and the toner doesn't stick very well to. Like, tape peels right off, which is what we're looking for. So we're using this. This is the right, you know, you find older, like 20-year-old copy paper, man. You run it through a new, like, laser printer, and it comes right off. So we've done a little bit of experiment. Like I said, if you've seen any of my videos, you've definitely seen this board before. I've tried all different types of ways. So what I'm going to do now that I sort of got the technique that I'm going to use, the materials that I want to use, I'm going to test out all those tapes. I got this guitar out of the parts pile. You know, it's sort of, you know, dark finish. It's sort of very similar to our headstock. I'm going to prepare, you know, a decal from each of those different tapes. I'll show you one of them and put it on here and just judge them, see which one actually looks closest to being like a real decal, like a real boy, like Pinocchio. I can't believe it. I can't wait. So let's check it out. So I'm going to do the old book tape because in my experiments it sort of looked to be the clearest one. So that's the one we're going to do. I got some like warm water in like a insulated thermos here. I'm going to put that in here. And I'm just going to stick this bad boy in here. 5-10 minutes, you know what I mean? Make sure it turns into gunk, all gunkied up. So let's wait 5 minutes and come right back. Alright, so it's been a little while here, all sunk down the bottom. Start nubbing on that with a fingernail. Now this book tape I've found is pretty old, so fender decals tend to break right after the F, between the F and the N, F-E-N, right in the beginning there. Very delicate. See that? So we got a little bald spot, and that's where we work the rest of this paper off. So it's pretty much peeling off that Staples paper. See that? And we got like here, man. I don't have that speed up feature, man, so you just have to watch my old ass do this shit. No, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna put you on pause. Floating back on the top side of life, folks. So there we go. We pretty much got all the stuff off there. So we're gonna pour another little cup of vodka here and invite our comrade in. Just kidding. Get this in there. It was just like the secondary bath. You can see all that little crap floating around that paper. So we want to get totally clean, man. We want to get it clean. You can feel it start to get clean. I don't want to be ripping this other dude's video off. You know what I'm saying? These are like model, like if you're building models, it's like to clean up little glue. So I got one of these. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get in here in the water and get all the paper remnants out with one of these guys. So I'll put you on pause, you know, get it real good because you don't want any of that paper remnants in there while we're doing the marker. So give me 1 second. See, now it's all clean, so we put it backside down on a piece of plexiglass. And we let it dry like 20 minutes, or if you want to be savage, you put your finger on where it says Telecaster, right? And you can hit it up, you know what I mean, with the low stream, high heat, and it'll dry off in like a minute. But you could either rip this, or it'll go flying off into the, you know what I mean, get all dirt on it. So if you can't wait 5-10 minutes, then you're gonna have to just, you know what I mean, suffer the risk of getting dried and blown. So when it's just dry, I'll show you what's up. So we're dry now. You see how it's like sort of sitting up there. It's hard to film this kind of thing, but we got our little pen. We're gonna do our best to stay on the lines there. So I'm gonna, you know, concentrate real well here. We're writing on adhesive too, so that's always fun. So once it's done, you know, we'll come back and take a look at it. The cool thing about the plexiglass is you can sort of flip it up and look at it, you know what I mean, see if it's got the coverage. So I'll flip back when we're all coated up. So we got the back all painted up, right, and it looks good from the front. So we're going to wait for this to dry, and we pick it up by the Telecaster, right, and we bring it right back over to the drink, the clean drink. And once it's totally dry, we're going to put it in there and just carefully run our fingers on the back there. And then we're going to apply it to the wood. So once it's totally dry, you know, just very carefully, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about, being careful. Be very careful. So I'll see you in 1 second. So we take it out of the drink wet, and we just put it on, you know what I mean, with a little bit of water right onto the surface, just like a water slide. Pat it down a little bit. You know what I mean? Dry it off paper towel just like a water slide. Hit it up with a hairdryer bit and just wait like a water slide. So I'm going to do all 4 of them, and we'll check it out and judge them when we're done. But that's how it's doing. Looks great though, right? You know what I'm saying? Cool. Results are unanimous in my mind. I just want to give you a little reference shot here. This is like an old fret decal done the fender way, the way it should look. You know what I mean, on the headstock, just so you know. That little light gauge for reference. Whoops. Oh man, I think that's broken. Well, anyway, so here we go. Number 1. This is the old book tape. Not bad, you know what I mean. It holds the color pretty well. I didn't do the silver perfect, you know what I mean. I was just doing it fast just to see the tape. Take a look here, the light. You see, it's like a thick decal, though. You know, it definitely looks like a sticker if you look at it. Not bad though. You know, no air pockets. This is this tape right here. My man on the internet was, you know, showing us that one, the Scotch packing tape. That's not the worst of them all. You can see, like, by all the toner, there's like little bubbles. You know what I'm saying? That'll peel right off. It looks like a sticker. You know what I mean? It's just not a good look, man. It's just the worst of the lot. Then we got this honorable mention. Dollar Tree. Looks great. Melts right in there, kind of like a decal. Only problem is it's a very, very thin tape. And it ripped. You can take a look in there, like, real closely. It ripped a couple times, and it's like kind of like coming up. See that rip there? So I mean, yeah, it melted in there, but it's just too thin. So here we are, man. The old Running Man Flyers. Perfect, man. Look at that. Melted right in there like butter, like a real decal. You know what I mean? You can barely see the edges. Held the metallic, you know what I mean, ink very well. So there it is. Almost perfect looking. So yes, thanks my man for reminding me about that old trick. I can't find your video now, but you know who you are. Thanks again, my man. On and upward. So basically, just to follow up a couple days later, I saw that, you know, there was a little bit of air, sort of, I guess, gas escaping from either the paint or the toner. Pretty much all of them, you know what I mean? Kind of like the plastic cover over cell phone, you know what I mean, screen, where you get those little bubbles and you gotta squeeze them out. But after a couple days, you know, less and less came out. But anyhow, I had this on the shelf for my old modeling moments. This is decal set from Testers. Basically, you just put a little bit down, and then you put the decal on top of it, and then you put a little bit more over it, and you sort of just let it go. And I did that here, and pretty much no gas escaped at all. You know what I mean? It was like a dead set. So that's my last trial. I was like, okay. So with a decal set, it kind of, you know, it kind of like melts in with that, you know, adhesive from the tape, and it sort of, you know, makes a solid glue. So did it. Got it on the old stock there. Looks great. You know what I mean? Looks perfect. These pens, folks, they definitely will. The tip will get screwed up by that adhesive after like 4 or 5 decals. You know what I mean? 6 decals. I had to actually buy another one after my little experimentations, because, you know what I'm saying? So a fresh one. You know what I mean? Decal came out beautifully. You know what I mean? I don't know if it's really worth all the trouble, honestly. You know what I mean? In retrospect. You know what I mean? The $10 that you're going to spend on a decal. You know what I'm saying? But it was a cool little project. It's going to look good. I got a set of fluors here, you know, in lines, and I got the correct bushings. Got to put them on there and just put it aside because we're pretty much done with the neck now. So let's get the final preparations ready here, folks. So now with the body painted and the neck ready, it's time to meet the Beatles in terms of the other components that we're going to be using here. So I have one of these, a blank neck plate. Everybody's got a million of them. Shine that guy up, be fine. Got a jack. Ordered this. It was like, I don't know, $1 or so. Of AliExpress. It's 2 socket cups, which is cool. One for a friend. This is, I think, AliExpress too, about $8. It said it was listed as Japanese reissue. And the cool thing I want to show you real quick is if you take a look. I know I keep ranting about the stupid book here. Take a look how this particular maker does this little thing here, and look at where it's supposed to be at, right? You know what I'm saying? Look how it's supposed to look. And take a real quick look over here and see what the all parts one is, man. You know what I'm saying? It's just too fat, man. It's too, like, it's, you know what I'm saying? That, I think, is a better look, right? Don't you agree? And it was cheaper too. So, double threat, man. This also is about $5. You know what I mean? Off of eBay, AliExpress, something like that. One of those two. I had ordered a whole bunch of these a couple years ago. I think 5 for $3, something like that. This is number 4, folks. So I'll just pull this guy off. This is, I don't know, $5, $6, $7 maybe, $8. Comes with a little screwdriver. These are like almost dead on perfect slot head. You know what I mean? 50s reissue knobs. They're gorgeous from my man Kaish. Seen his name before over here. Pull these guys off, put them on. That's the control plate. We also got from the mom and pop shop. I don't know where the other one is. Here it is. Hiding out from me. Chrome plated slot heads. I'll just tap this out. You know what I mean? He's a little bit smaller than metric. Tap them out. 632, I believe it is. Right. Got this Alnico 50s reissue. You know what I mean? Nondescript. This was like a $10 pickup. I had this in the porch drawer for something else. I ended up using ceramic just because it sounded a lot better. This one sounds good though. You know what I mean? It's like that original 50 sound. Then you remember this from earlier on in the build. It's a ceramic, man. And I had to put some little nuts on there. Keep her in her place. So now we're going to get real jury rigged with you all. Here's some proper screws from Mom and Pop. I want to be cheap here. So, basically, I got a set of gold brass. You know what I mean? And I'm only going to use the actual saddle itself. I'm going to take all that gold hardware off. I'm going to use these springs here. This is from a couple years ago. What I'm going to do is, these are metric. What I did is I got metric M3, right? The same ones, but these are actually, if you take a look at them, they are slot head. You know what I mean? Not a very good look here, but you can see, you can see a little bit better right there, right? Trust me, folks, they're slot head. So they're going to have the right look. I'm not going to have to tap out, you know what I mean, those holes right there, but I'm going to tap out the middle hole so I can use the proper screw, because look, these are the kind of screw, it's a metric thread, and I had them sitting with my other Telecaster. It's going to look, because it's real skinny, you know what I mean, it's going to stick out like a sore thumb to me. So I'm going to get the proper big thread on there, but this I saved as a lesson. This is from the first guy I built right here. This was Incarnation 1. Basically, the tap broke off right in there. See that? Broke off right in there. Sucks, right? Anyway, so be real careful tapping them out. I'm going to tap these out. It's supposedly brass. It's probably not brass. It's like gold painted. Use these springs. Use these screws. Use these. You know what I mean? M310 slotted. We're going to put it all together. Those are the people in the neighborhood. So that's about it. Let's get it together. Let's get it together. Go, folks. All knobbed up, man. Switched out. That's easy. Easy peasy stuff. We got those slot heads in there, right? The old slot. The old slot mouth. This guy, look at that. Look at that gorgeousness. You know what I'm saying? Those little flathead grub screws. They were brass. I'm sorry, my Chinese friend. I noticed when I was reaming it out with that tap, it was definitely brass. So cool beans, man. That looks great. Really great. So this is gonna have to be sanded. I mean, this is actually a bit thicker. You know what I mean? It's the Chinese. You know what I mean? I hit somebody with this. I hurt him. I'm just gonna have to be, go over here with a sanding block, and clean it up a bit. I noticed though, it's a real sort of tight fit with that pickup, and I put it through there. And it doesn't even really need, like, you know what I'm saying? It stays where it's supposed to be. And you having to dread that peekaboo thing, having to pick it up and then screw it down. And what if you screw it down in the wrong place? I'm thinking, fuck that. I'm just gonna have some of this I guess this packing, cushion stuff. It can be best described as like packing peanut in a roll. That's the dexterity of it. It's kind of thick. I'm going to just roll little tiny rolls of it and put a piece here, put a piece here, put some masking tape over it, lightly, of course. Fold this in half, you know what I mean, to put it in here, right? You know what I mean, in the cavity so it doesn't move anywhere, right? It's not going to go through that hole, so we're not even bother screwing that in. I think we'll be good with that. I know where I like my Telecaster, pickup to be in relation to where the strings are and everything. I know where I like, you know what I mean? So I've done this so many times that I'm not even gonna bother. So that's how I'm gonna do that, folks. Another trick of the trollop. So this guy starting to smell less like urethane's been sitting here for a little while. It's hard. You can feel it hardened up. I'm going to wet sand it very, very lightly on a higher grit, you know what I mean, get rid of all the craziness. You want to keep the wet sanding with these veneer jobs, especially the cheap wood and urethane, because urethane acts like a plastic bag and then it'll just expand up. You want to keep it to a minimal. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna mostly stick with steel wool. And I'm gonna polish it out, and I'll cut back to you after we're done. You know what I mean? Right before we're about to polish it up, and I'll explain something to y'all. I'll explain it to you. All right. So we sat in the Sanders chair, man. We pretty much stuck to 1,000, 3,000 wet sanding, and then 000, quadruple zero steel wool, a little bit of wet steel wool. You know what I mean? Knocked off the edges. You know what I'm saying? Knocked off all the weird stuff in here, in these tender joints. So it's time to wax her up. What are we gonna do? How are we gonna polish it? Just straight rubbing compound, you know what I mean, lightly. Polishing compound, be careful not to get it in those nooks and crannies. Then you get like a little bit of care from mom here. Get a good cleaner wax, you know what I mean. I love this Carnauba wax, the Brazilian mom's. It smells like a urinal, but I mean, it does a great job. And then to seal it off, we're going to put some bowling alley wax on here, some butcher's wax. The old reliable, you know what I mean, keep it all cleared in. So I'm going to put you on pause, and we're going to wax up our surfboards and head down Del Guinea Way or whatever that way is. Hang on one second. And beautiful it looks. You can't really see it, but you can feel it, man. You can feel it. A bunch of rags, different rags going up and down. Used all the components as we just discussed. And oh, now it feels like, you know what I mean? Like a part of a fixture, part of your body, man. Part of an instrument. So cool. Let's get it off the hook there and start getting this guy assembled here. We got it down, got it unhooked. We're starting to actually mock it up a little bit. Make sure that you got these lined up. You want to put a piece of tape, you know what I mean, down here. Or people say put a piece of masking tape. You know what I think is better? A piece of like low-tech electrical tape, man. You know what I mean? Because masking tape sometimes gets stuck in there, man, and it can be a drag. But anyway, man, each his own. Yeah, it looks great. Like I had to use these special sort of bushings in there. the long sloop vintage style, man. I love that, long sloopers. So we're gonna muscle this guy in here, hold this back, and we're gonna screw it in with those number 8 screws. So I'm gonna put you on pause, and when we're connected, we've connected a fender before, so just look at one of my other videos, man. You know what I'm saying? Not a big deal. So we got it connected, right? Screwed up, man. Nice tight fit there. Neck still looks straight pretty much for the most part, so let's mock it up with all those components. Go. We got it all taped up, as you can see. Got a little piece of that peanut swirl cake. Got a nice tight fit. We got this pickup where we want it to be. We're going to push this in real tight. Let's get that pickup in there. Folks, it doesn't get any more correct than that. Let's peel off these little pick guards here and start, screwing this fucker down. So we got the guard screwed down. Remember, at this point, you'll want to peel off this tape if you put tape there. Make sure those holes line up perfectly, which they do. And let's screw this bridge down right now. We're not going to screw this down yet because we don't have it soldered up. So let's get what we got in there, got on off. See, now we're all totally screwed up on the pickup side. So we want to get our electronics done. We got the 2 leads coming in there from the pickups. We got to get that jack screwed on there and, attached, etc., etc. So let's put it on pause and we'll go do the electronics and just give you a little bit of, a little bit of glimpse of that. Now, got it soldered. Right? So we're going to very carefully push this in, bring it over to the amp, do the tap test on both pickups, and see if it works. Let me put you on pause and I'll report back. Alright, so the tap test indicated that everything made a tap sound when I plugged it in. So, basically, here's where I deviate from the script, folks. Fender came up with this, piece to sort of wedge in this cavity here. And they got some kind of tool, I guess, to bend it, to a way where this can be sort of screwed in here. Through the back, in some kind of weird old down-home fashion. That always to me seemed like something that was going to be a pain in the neck. So I never did it. Not one time. What do? I mix up a concoction of wood glue and super glue, like a light viscosity and like a heavy viscosity, and I sort of make sure that these, connections are real good with these wires. Right, because you're not going to be able to really work on them ever again. So make sure they're soldered correctly. This one's kind of bothering me right now, but I'll fix it. Make sure that it ain't going nowhere. Put it in there, we just glue it on there, man. We just glue it and say goodbye. It's what I do, folks. It's stupid, but whatever. So I'll see you tomorrow morning after I have that set, and forget. And then we'll just finish up the assembly here, folks. Peace. Atomic focus, man. So there it is. It's solid, man. It's tight. Looks pretty too. No mess. That's what we like. I've done this like 3 or 4 times, folks, and it's never, ever come out. One of them's on one of my favorite guitars. You know what I mean? And I've worked on the jack. You know what I mean? I can pull it through here. So we're good, man. It's gonna last forever. This is a point too where you're gonna want to take like a yardstick, right? Have a yardstick. And bring the saddles to the correct scale length so you don't have to move, move them around. 25.5. So, hopefully it goes on and the intonation is good. Not much left to go here, folks. You don't really need me to hold your hand on the rest of this. I'm going to put these Luther Supply ferrules in the back. Pull out those wads of masking tape. I got another set of these import slender strings with the wound G. Always touting them. This is also from a luthier lot. I think I've also spoken ad nauseum of this luthier lot of this fellow that passed away. I've gotten all kinds of wonderful treasures from that. These look like the MVP, man. He's probably from like a 50s, 60s Fender, man. They're old school. Cool, man. Maybe they're not. Maybe they're from like a striker. Who knows what the hell they're from. This is... when I built my 56, I got a real set of Kluson round string retainers. And this looks like the screw it came with here. Small head, man. Little tiny head. So I found that Import pickguard screws are like roughly a number 5, and they do the trick visually and mentally. So I'm gonna find the biggest head motherfucker that I have, get it in there to look good, man. And that's not even the biggest head I got, man. So here we go. Let's get this guy assembled. I'll get you some glam shots, let you meet an old friend of ours, and send you on our ways. Peace. And here it is, people. My goodness. My goodness gracious. She plays as good as she looks. Trust me, folks. It went together with perfect action, perfect intonation. Which I generally do these days, you know, after you get a little experience under your belt. You know what I mean? It's all about setting it up. Look at that, man. Look at that. Look at that. Yes. What a beautiful guitar. Look at that beautiful phone. You must be a professional. You must have money. Look, man. It's all about love. It's all about kindness. It's all about the way it sounds, man. And it sounds incredible. Nothing to be said really about the back. You know what I mean? We got those crooked teeth. You know what I mean? We're all family. We accept each other's flaws and differences, don't we? Don't we accept them? Look at that, man. Jeez. See that? So, here it is, folks. An iconic guitar, man. An iconic guitar needs an iconic test drive. So, without further ado, here is, for your acquaintance or reacquaintance, a great man. Peace. Great friend, here he is, John Hamilton. Many years as young kids playing those guitars in the garage together. It's going to give you a little taste of our Telecaster. Johnny?
Please.
Thank you. Johnny Blade, the great man. 1953 Fender Telecaster. God bless you. Thanks again.